again for more MetaZoo. So this is awesome. My name's Kevin. Emilio, wonderful. And then Arnaud, of course, streaming. And Fajir, our judge on the stream team room. And we got some good gameplay going on here. So on my screen right now, we got Forest Water matchup. And the round just started, so this is game one. This is really early on. I'm talking like first 5 games for all the players right now. And seeing some really cool stuff going on already. So Forest player got an insane opening with 2 crystals and a Force Aura. Get the Squonk out. You know, everyone loves the Squonk. And then Frogman came out. And Frogman did work because it's Frogman.
Because of lightning a bottle, yes.
Because
bottle made that work. Yeah.
Because
but now the Forest player has the aura to just from the field. They have a bookmark they can use to get some more critters out of the spell book.
Yep.
If they bookmark some more, there you go. There's a rope right and another forest aura. So they can at least play those 3 for this turn, getting that tribal boost up for 30 damage and 30 health. If they play that last they're just waiting to fatigue the right cards. Okay. Here you go. Even with 1 frogman, the opponent, obviously the first player does not know that there's another line in a bottle that will make that frogman hit 2 of those fearsome critters. So I think the water player has things under control for the most part here.
Yeah. There's Frogman is pretty safe right now. We got Smoky Spirits, got the Lightning in the Bottle, at the Anniversary, which can one-shot the Crystal, mind you, right? Which is the Chaos Crystal that is. Can one-shot it no problem, right? So,
but at this point, I don't know. Would you do it? I mean, Forest already will with 2 aura out and even one of the Forest Gods Amber. That's enough aura. Even if you take out the Chaos Crystal, I don't know, like if that would do much. And also your Frogman will lose Magic Proof as well.
It would do some work, I would say. It would do some work for sure. Yeah, I mean, the main threat is the reason why I would destroy it is, let's say they get a New Year's 2 beginnings, then they go hard, right? You go hard, you get like 5 beasties, and they just flood the board afterwards with the 5 beasties, which can be crucial.
Oh yeah, if they draw more cards, yeah. But right at the moment, like they will draw at most 1, like 1 more beastie per turn. They don't need all that aura at the moment. Yeah.
Correct. Here we go.
That's a dampen and a flood the earth, right?
Right. Most likely that flood the earth is going to be used for cycling, right? Not instead of just board wiping. Not really the point right now. Water is exactly where they want to be right now. And where they want to be in a state where they got the potions for Frogman to get either side of it, and they have the utility they need to keep the pressure on. Dampen for utility, right? Flood the earth for cycling. Anniversary taking out the crystal. And Chessie for mid-game scaling once the Frogman has done the work keeping that board state under control. It's not looking like a good game for the Force player. When I saw that Force player's hand, it was an insane hand. But now, with the Anniversary and Frogman existing, it's looking a little rough right now. If I was Force player, I may go for an early game surrender so I can save time for games 2 and 3. Because the thing about Force is you can come back, but normally you more or less win more and stay ahead rather than come back. Just because it's very swingy. You either maintain a large board state and win through the game, or you fall behind and you don't come back. So it can be rough.
Even if the Forest player were to miraculously draw growth and maybe draw like a New Year's and flood the board, they have flood the earth, right? Well, now they don't, but they can still potentially flood the earth.
Yeah.
Interesting play, because I would be worried of a growth bookmarks at this moment if I can take care of those crystals.
Yes.
Potentially keeping the aura open for the dampen is important. Maybe they were aiming to at least bookmark another aura to keep the tempo, but they didn't, right?
The lockdown is so real right now, right?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's just for sure. And yeah, lockdown's very real. Hoping for top deck growth. It's a Gummeroo, but not going to be enough, unfortunately, to pull through. That Frogman is essentially deleting a Beastie every time he uses a power, and it's just hurting those 4 species right now. Looking like a easy game for water. And again, this is where MetaZoo, you gotta be mindful with conceding early game to save time. And if I was a force player in this scenario, I'm thinking, shoot, it's really hard to come back here. I would need, because I would stay in the game if I was pulling the lightning in the bottle next turn and I could take care of the Frogman. I don't seem, with the cards that they're drawing into, it doesn't seem to be a realistic possibility right now. Especially because Smoky Spirits is in hand at the same time. That card is huge to play against. Yeah, it looks. Oh no! Got BC's being destroyed here, and Forest is cleaning up the board. Wild player bookmarks 2 pages. Loveland still controlling that board. It's doing what a frog does best: sits back, cast spells, right, and has some potions to make the getaway when it needs to make the getaway. Water Baby comes down arena. Frogman targeting that Gumroot, instantly destroying it. Afterlife, 50 damage to caster. The punish right there.
That's the power of burn, yeah.
It's the power of the burn, right?
Oh, and a Gumroot, of course. But still, this clearing of the board by that Loveland that's some heavy lifting. But yeah, that's what Frogman does with those potions.
Exactly.
Just takes care of everything, draws you more cards, has board presence, and this squishy guy, there's a reason why he's so powerful. As I said, check out the story of our, graphic novel, and you'll find out more about Loveland actually in recent chapters. Yeah,
exactly.
Want to just shuffle their hand?
The 4
is good. Always a good thing to do.
Yeah, this game most likely is going to close out early, so if you're cool with it, we can go switch over to the game real fast.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then the classic matchup here, Force Lightning, using Lightning Storm, the new one from Nightfall. Very nice, pick it up in Nightfall booster boxes. Facts. This is an amazing Forest board state right now. We got growth coming in. This is the exact board state that Speedlemon here wanted. He wanted this hand. A hand like this where you can pop off and get it going with those cards and just keep the pressure up. Just
wanted and was prepared. He had all the aura ready. He just needed that growth or New Year's, and it was gonna be a different story. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I will say Speedlemon plays a very different style of Forest. He's running a Feigned Death in this card pool, which is a new Nightfall card. Really pulling through for giving card advantage. And it's been working so far, right? These are some of the top tables. These tables are in the top half, right? So they're contending for top cut right now. And his deck's been showing it's working well after 3 rounds, right? Around 4, it seems to be struggling against his water deck, right? To go back to this game. So let's move on here. We got a Lightning versus Frost matchup. We've seen this matchup before. This is not as common a matchup, but right now, since Frost is making a little bit of a debut in this metagame, right? We're going to be seeing it more and more. This Lightning deck is very different, though. We're seeing Ding Bell be common. 3 Ding Bells in an early game chapter. That's very rare these days. And using Ding Bell for 2, trying to get some decent value off Ding Bell, that's very interesting. You don't see it often, Emilio, right? You don't see it often where Ding Bell is providing, early game tokens.
Not for 2, yeah. It is very interesting. They do have more Ding Bells in hand, so maybe they are just hoping that they can get, they'll deal with more Ding Bells later. And they just want to give their opponents a run for their crystals. But that Amikuk with the rod and the leg can take care of the Ding Bell. So and they decide to go with the Frostbite. Okay.
Right. That was awesome play. Iceberg Iceberg is a very high utility artifact, and it's one that not every Frost player likes. But when they use an Iceberg, you're gonna get value from it because they know how to use it in their decks. Typically speaking,
It's definitely a great card. It also has convert trait, so it can provide you some early aura when needed.
yes.
Definitely a card to look out for, and I've seen a lot of players that have been following Frost and Scripted Nation very excited about Iceberg. As you said, the average player is not that excited about it.
Yeah. It depends, right? It depends on the Frost. The thing about Frost, Frost is similar to Dark, where there's a lot of ways to play it. And you could run Iceberg in the deck, maybe not to. But in that scenario, Iceberg really shined. It was a great card to use. It got, why do you need Icy Spell for my Frostbite Ice Spell combo when I can Iceberg and get multiple uses out of it and get my Frostbite back, right? That's good value if you ask me. It's really good value.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I agree. It's a great card. It's a divided reception of the card.
It is. It is very divided. And you'll notice at Nightfall, any card game, for the matter, cards will always be decisive. There'll be cards people love, cards people hate, and that's just the way of the game, But I think Amelia and I for sure could agree that Iceberg, we definitely see why people like Iceberg just for what it does,
And that art is amazing. I love the little Chessie making a cat.
Yeah, it's a really good art. It's a really good art. Just hiding behind it with the little Gigi bird. I think that's a Gigi bird. It's hiding behind it.
Yeah.
So very nice. It looks like Frost definitely has the edge. Has the early game ammo cook, but Lightning isn't out of the count yet. They have the power up red play. The question is when to play it. Frost, similar to Dark, has a lot of control and also some single target removal. Alaskan Vortex, one of the best removals in the game because it bypasses magic proof, right? Another Frostbite. That Iceberg giving a ton of value. That Iceberg alone with Frostbites has destroyed 2 beasties this game, and it's going to get back likely another Frostbite, folks. So
that's correct. That's the dangers of having that the Glacier, the Iceberg in play, and Frostbite is definitely the thing to get back.
Exactly.
And also, our Frost player is setting up with another Vortex. Eventually, New Year's in the beginning, if they decide to go that route, and even get more fuel for their hand, the opponent has a New Beginnings, which could trump Frost's plans.
They do. That's huge. Thunderbird coming out, and looking like Thunderbird's going to do some work right now. Maybe a little bit. Could take out the Iceberg, but, takes out the Eternal Snowflake instead. Fair play. Want to keep that Frost aura low. Frost is running a little dangerous aura. Token getting some value right now. Taking out that the Iceberg as well. Frostbite comes back like we expected, right? Frostbite doesn't give a lot of value on its own. It relies heavily on those frozen effects like Icy Spell and Frostbite and the Beasties. But don't forget, the sleeper card right now is the Amacook, actually. The Amacook is dealing a ton of damage. 20 base damage from the attack, 20 damage from Bishop Pole, and then 30 damage from the Terras. It's hitting for a whopping 70 damage for a 2-drop. That's a ton of damage, folks, for a 2-drop.
And our Frost player can go defensive whenever they want, as Amico gains first strike, right, when it defends. Right. So if they wanted, they can do that. Then they have a Frostbite to finish anything off.
Yes.
Mark some more cards. They have the Wahila to freeze the field, which just came into play.
Right. And that's the thing as a Frost player, right? With a Frost player, you really feel like you're in control, right? You can play aggressively. You can play defensively. You have the options because Frozen can do both. Frozen's has effect. Some have argued Frozen isn't as strong as, say, Sleep or Paralyzed, right? And that may be true. Where Frozen has, it's everywhere in Frost. Frost loves Frozen. You'll see Frozen in artifacts, in beasties, in spells. And because it's so proliferant in one aura type, it can feel oppressive to play against, especially if you're an aura type that doesn't handle Frozen very well. Like Lightning, for instance. Lightning can handle Frozen well with right support, like a Lightning in a bottle. But if you don't have the cards in hand against it, or you aren't building your deck in a certain way, it can feel oppressive, right? And right now, our Lightning player doesn't want to play Power Up Red. Why don't they want to play Power Up Red, Emilio?
That is an amazing question that I have no answers to, because then you can get that bird to stay there with their fleet, they're flying. I really don't understand, but what I do understand is that I have played a lot against Frost with Dark that has a lot of control, and even then, like the control that Frost brings is just it's in my opinion is the best control in the game. So at least when I've played against it, so it's definitely a type of deck that it's a challenge to play against, and if you haven't played against it, the wrong move will cost you the game.
Yeah.
Frost will come back, yeah.
Right. I think, in one word, they're an extremely punishing aura type, right, to play against. Very punishing. And if you like control playstyle, if you're new to MetaZoo, give Frost a shot. Frost has a lot of different playstyles for what it can do. And it's, in my opinion, the quintessential control aura type, just because of so many options it has, right? It's a good mixture of the other archetypes for control. And it does it in a way that's unique, because it really likes playing around with Frozen as an effect. Right.
Yes.
So.
And we see here that we see the Power Up Red, we see it's equipped to a Thunderbird, and the Thunderbird has taken care of the Wahila.
Yes.
That's pretty nice.
Right. So that's huge. Lightning player is committing. Lightning player isn't down for the count just because they have a losing board state. They're not down. They got the New Year's, new beginnings for the reset, and that New Year's, if the Lightning player knew what we're seeing right now, where they have Alaskan Vortex in their hand, they would be more tempted to play it. That is
red.
That is a massive hand right there.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a huge hand. For Frost.
Now, like, there's winter's out, right? So I don't know if we'll see that Born from the Earth. There's no beastie to benefit from the Born of the Earth.
No beastie,
right? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We get the last
one. Vortex.
Power Up Red. This is nasty. See, the Frost player seemed like this is the best play. It is a good play, right? I'll have to give us. You have to give me a couple minutes to really think about what's the best play in this scenario, because there's a lot you can do. You could play the Power Up Red on Amacook primarily. You could play your beginnings if you really wanted to, or you can even just play the Alaskan Vortex.
I'm pretty sure that the New Year's is gonna come down, and there's not the Frost player won't have to wonder anything about that Power Up Red, because that New Year's has to drop. There's 6 cards.
It's gonna drop. Yeah, it's gonna drop right. Yeah, and it just. Just dropped. They could have if in spiteful response, just gets that chapter, slaps it down the cemetery, and just draws back. Shoot.
Let's see. Oh, we have two Quets making an appearance. We have Lightning in a Bottle. That will give Lightning player a significant advantage. Okay, what happened there? They took back their Shock Aura?
No, the guy is shuffled for... The player shuffled for a New Year's. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Warnings issued, so keep in mind. Anyways, we got Quets coming out here, and we got the... Got it, Quets coming out here.
Yep, that's all that we need to say. There's not much to say with the Quets sitting the board. With Thunderstorm out.
That's all we got. I mean, yeah, people know Quets already. Let's say Quets. They know what I'm talking about. Everyone's scared of Quets for the most part, right? Like, why players scared of Quets? I think fourth players scared of Quets, and I think it gets out, right? It has a big impact immediately on play, right? Call Pollock. Coming in. Call Pollock, very good beastie, right?
Solid beastie.
Yeah, very solid. Gives a ton of value. It comes in. It's basically an icy spell with a body, but hits with good damage as well, right? Very good beastie. But Amacook's really coming in, right? You don't have Earthquake, can't deal with Amicooks, you got a problem. Especially
there you go.
Bro.
Right now we have the solution. Well,
Almost.
sort of. For some, it takes a little time to set up with anniversary celebration, but
Yes.
it's still a good response when you don't have earthquake, when you're not running earth, of course.
Right.
You have there you go, thunderbolt.
Right. Either way, yeah, Thunderbolts can come in, Pollock. Just delaying a bit, right? Lightning player is getting to a little bit of a danger zone, right? Sub 500 LP. You know what I'm trying to say? Sub 500 LP. Anacook's hitting for 140 per turn. Do some basic math, folks, right? You do 500 divided by 70. What kind of math is that, right? So, 500 divided by 140, right? So, Lightning player has about 3 to 4 turns to survive before they lose the game, and they're going to have to stall, right? Hence why the Quest is being held back. Quest at first strike, very scary. Our Frost player is in a little rough situation. What makes Quest shine so much is the fact that it can defend extremely well as attack. It makes a both amazing attacker and defender. But that attack is going to be neutered. Jack Frost.
Whoa, I had forgotten Jack Frost destroys all terras that are not winter snowing.
Yes.
This is taking a big hit for the Lightning deck because they have normally there's no real reason to not play a second Lightning Storm, but here you are learning in this stream that there might be a reason, and the name is Jack Frost. So
Jack Frost. Exactly.
That has dealt with both of the Lightning Storms in this deck. If I was that Lightning player, I would be a little concerned right now.
Little bit, yeah.
Also hits hard for a Spirit Beast that cannot be attacked, right? So,
exactly.
Very, very interesting turn of events here.
Even if Jack Frost is destroyed, doesn't matter. Jack Frost did his job. Its job was
for sure, of course,
destroy that Terra, right? Destroy Terra. But
it's hard to hit. Being a Spirit, it'll be hard to hit unless they play the anniversary, of course.
Yes. But right now, our Frost player is a little scared, right? Why are they scared? Because Quetz is there to defend, there to attack. Right now, Lightning player has a conundrum. They have the solution, like Amelia said, to drop the anniversary, take out the Anacook's Burrow on the next turn, and the turn after that. But if they do that, they run the risk. Because if the anniversary, the Amicooks just swing at Quetz, so it's not a good play, right? We're seeing anniversary being used a lot in the metagame. Take out traits to deal with BCs like Loveland Frogman. However, right, it's a double-edged sword, since BCs like Quetz rely on those traits to have agency in the metagame. If Quetz didn't have Flight, it didn't have Fleet, it didn't have First Strike, it would not be Quetz. It just wouldn't be.
And the anniversary just dropped, making, as Kevin is highlighting, Quetz loses First Strike flying, but also Jack Frost can be attacked. And the Amicus cannot borrow starting next turn.
Yep. This is... I wouldn't say it's a questionable choice. It's fair, because right now, a Lightning player, he's scared of Amicooks. He's scared of him, right? They're coming in, and they're dealing, so we didn't highlight before that that lake was destroyed, right? The lake was also destroyed. That's a loss, right? It lowers Pollux damage and Amicooks damage. Doesn't matter if lake was destroyed, right? Winter's still up, right? And Winter's doing some work.
Winter and the fishing rod is the fourth wall item. So yeah, the Amicus is still doing good.
Yep.
Oh, he destroyed the Kolopilic and what else?
Destruction, and he's going for the Jack Frost right now.
Oh, what if he fails that? Well, wait. Just hitting for 50 is.
He used anniversary hit for 25, and then he had.
Okay. Of course,
he just has enough, right? Amicooks don't have Burrow anymore. That's A-okay, because Quest doesn't have First Strike and Flight anymore. So, Frost player still in a good spot, especially because they have the aura and they have significantly more cards. Double the cards adds Lightning player. 4 to 2.
They have 2 icy paths right now. That is definitely gonna be
brutal.
Oh, they can only use 1 now. They didn't convert for that aura for whatever reason. Okay.
Right. Here we go. We got more beasts coming in. Amikuk Swarm, no problem. Qualo Pollock, gonna get the Frozen out, most likely, if hey, remember there's no Frozen.
I forgot there's no first strike, so they can just attack if they want.
This is a questionable play though, because this is very aggressive. Because in this scenario, why would you not hold back one more aura for an Icy Path?
I think it was just a misplay. They forgot maybe that they could use the iceberg for that aura.
Good. Or arguably, it's to be more aggressive, right? You can go both ways, but either way,
he didn't use the iceberg for anything.
Didn't, yeah.
So I don't know.
Iceberg wouldn't have had a ton of value right there. It just would have done.
He tapped the iceberg in the opponent's turn for aura.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, he did?
Oh, he did it. Now it's reversed, I think. Yeah, it was told otherwise, probably.
Good. Yeah, you can't. Keep in mind, folks, you can't use convert on the opponent's turn.
Now we learned that's why he did it. He thought he could. So that's why he played how he played. And that's why we were confused.
Yeah, thinking good. Exactly. It happens. Even with
go ahead.
Yeah, even with that misplay, our Frost player is still in a good spot, right? As long as they keep the Amikuks going, right now it should be okay. And they realize, yeah, Quest is gonna awaken, or.
Well, now in this turn for Frost, the Quets first strike, they're fine again. Amikuks will gain first strike when they need to. So those two Icy Paths in hand. Gonna be an interesting next turn if one of those Quets crashes into the other one.
Yeah. Right. Actually, what would you do, Leo? Would you send the Quest to the face, be more aggressive, or would you rather just go for the one Quest paralyzing other Quests, or,
You're saying if in the wake of an Icy Path, or just if I was the Lightning player? Sorry, I'm trying to understand the question.
The thing about Icy Path is you can send that Quest so many places, into Beasties, the caster. Where would you send it?
This board state, I would just definitely send it to another Quets. Hope for a paralysis.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's what I would do. What is the time? Do we have time right now?
Time is. Let me check out. Ends at 5:50. You got 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So there's still room here. What would you do? Would you not crash it against another Quets, hoping for a paralysis? Because the good thing is that they will survive.
Yeah.
You have a high chance that one of them will get paralyzed, right? The other one.
Right. It depends. I mean, right now, damage to face sounds pretty good. Like, it always sounds good. Right now, I think this is it. I think Frost is definitely going to win. The damaged Icy Paths are going to keep them locked down. Really depends.
160 to 1,000. That's quite a gap.
Yeah.
Another anniversary.
Yep. 2 in a game. Very rare to see that, but it happens. It can happen. Why is it rare? It's because anniversary is 2 per spellbook.
Yep.
So
and now I see Icy Path, the Thunderball.
Yep. Number 1.
Lightning, which is doing 25 damage, right?
Right. So this is crucial. Do you send it to Pollock, or do you send it to the face?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Let's see what they decide to do here. They have a second Icy Path, right? So they're just so far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's likely going to be a game for Frost pretty soon. Pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Because Amikuks still have burrow. If the Amikuks were not burrowed, it would be a much different game, right? Because they are burrowed. It's get a roll for 1. Okay.
I guess that was the roll for the paralysis from the ball lightning.
Yeah.
And then the Quets just killed the ball lightning.
Right. So
I'm sensing some frustration from the Lightning player for sure. Seeing that they are understanding where they're at the moment.
Oh,
He played great though. It's been a great game.
yeah, just noped him right here again. Icy Path coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rogan's paralyzed against himself. Oof. So that actually no, Rogan first strike against himself, and then
They don't have to roll for first strike. They had the anniversary plate, right?
yeah,
That was just for paralysis.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
good.
definitely. That was game. It was an
That was rough.
amazing game by our Lightning and Frost Smash.
Yeah,
Frost just had a great upper hand. The vortexes, even the icebergs, the multiple frostbites. It was great. Yeah,
it was
great
a good
playing.
one, for sure. Really showing the power of Frost versus Lightning. You know, water with water match. This looks like a new game actually.
This is not one of those mirror matches.
We did. We've already seen it beforehand. I'm gonna actually head back. I wonder if they're forced. Oh, they're still playing Forest here. So let's see this so fast.
What is going on here? We see a lot of forest aura.
Yeah, this is a rough game state right now. Seeing a lot of these.
We only have 3 water auras. There's no artifacts being destroyed, so there's hasn't been any sort of board wipes that have happened to our knowledge.
Right.
But there is a lot of aura. There's no hands in play for our forest deck here, so something must have happened to all those forest beasties.
Yeah, I may be sad to say. Let's go water baby. Just killed a lot of them. Yeah, there were literally. This was a game where Water Baby just took over with Lightning the Bottle. That is so. Yeah, that's really sad to see. You know, a card I don't see people run a ton of is actually Unlucky Potion, right? The Unlucky Potion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If they had Unlucky Potion to paralyze roll, it would have been a different story, right? But actually, a much different story. Right now, Forest needs a growth to get going. Let's hop down here. The Lightning versus Forest here. That is. That is a hand. This is the craziest thing I've seen in a while. Wow, it's so sad because normally you're like, oh, give me the Lightning bottles and give me the quests. Well, you got them. You got all of them.
Well, it looks like Twisted just.
Yeah, it looks like it's a scoop. Unfortunately,
again, this is the kind of hand that we've seen Lightning decks come back from in many tournaments. Which Forest does have a great board, but with 4/3 Lightning in the bottles, you drop a Quetz, you have 5 attacks, 5, 6, depending on how many Lightning in the bottle.
You
can turn around, but the aura was just not agreeing with the Lightning deck today, so Forest is overwhelmed with its numbers.
It wasn't. It wasn't there, for sure. Yeah, I mean, look at Lightning Portal, 1,000 to 375. That's a big gap. And, you could make that. I've personally done and seen games where Lightning can come back from, 20 LP, right? I've come back in my personal games from, 20 LP, 50 LP, right, as Lightning. And it's possible to come back, but it's a major uphill battle. And it looks like, I don't know their decks. I haven't seen decks all the way. But it looks like CampPsycho has a pretty optimized Forest deck, considering that it was a clean sweep on Twisted. Right?